Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Grace. And so we hit 1,000 subscribers recently. And so for my 1,000 subscribers, I've decided to do a Q&A. And so I made a little temporary video on my YouTube channel where I asked you guys to ask me some questions. And so today I'm going to be answering those questions. I'm going to be answering them. I actually got a new phone. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my camera quality is so much better because I got a new phone. Also, the audio quality should be much better as well. I still have my old one though, which is the iPhone 8, and so I'm just going to be using this. This is very convenient. Now I can just look at stuff while making videos because my laptop actually broke down recently. So I would have had to write it all out. I will be getting a new laptop soon, but for now, I'll just be using my old phone. So the first question that I'm just going from the order that I see them on the comments of the YouTube video is from Like Mike. Hi Mike. And the question says, when are you going to Hong Kong? You will definitely get more of a reaction when you are there. So Hong Kong, ASAP, as soon as possible. Obviously, like, why would I not want to go to Hong Kong? I definitely want to go as soon as possible. Obviously, right now, I literally can't go because of coronavirus. But definitely as soon as I can, as soon as I'm available, have the money, you know what I mean, I will be going to Hong Kong and I will be practicing my Guangdonghua, and I'll definitely obviously vlog it, take you guys along with me. That will be so fun. The next question from Usman. Hi Usman Kohli. What are the next languages you want to master? I think I've answered this before, so I'm just gonna quickly say, yeah, Spanish, German, Swahili, Korean, and I think that's it at the moment. Spanish, German, Korean, and Swahili. I think Tagalog will also be kind of interesting, but it's not like a big want at the moment. Right now, those four I'm really eager to start learning. And then, how long does it take on average to speak a language? This just varies. There's a lot of factors that come into this. How long you spend each week learning the language, you know, it depends on the person. Some people just pick them up so more quickly than others. Also, are you living in the country? You know, are you speaking it every day? You know, it really just depends on many factors. And also, you say speak a language. So do you mean fluently, or do you just mean start speaking? Because you can start speaking within the first week of learning a language, you know? And I would definitely advise trying to speak your language as soon as you start learning. So it really just depends. Someone says, 你有冇中文名? So 你有冇中文名? That's Cantonese for do you have a Chinese name? I do not. The only Chinese name I have is 格雷斯, which is basically just Grace. 格雷斯, Grace in Mandarin. So in Cantonese, 格雷斯 would be 格雷斯, but that doesn't really sound like Grace anymore, you know? But as for a name, like an actual Chinese name that means something, I don't have one. I don't know, guys. Maybe give me a name. Give me a name, a Chinese name. It can be Mandarin or in Cantonese. Give me one that's like, I don't know, nice and meaningful. I don't really know. I'd like to have one, but for now it's just Galaisi. Yeah. Someone says, how do you effectively learn a language though? Like, do you have a daily routine or something? Because I really want to learn, but I literally have no direction. I would link down a video. Well, it's actually my first video, like my first proper video on my channel. It's on how to learn a language, so it's quite old, but I think, you know, what I said in that video still stands. Basically, a lot of input. Make sure you're listening to a lot in the language. You're watching TV, you're listening to music, you're watching YouTube. Find someone you can practice with, because you'll never speak a language if you don't speak the language. So definitely find someone you can practice with, and then find somewhere to learn the language, like buy a textbook or find a podcast series or an online series or a YouTube series. You know, just find something that's going to teach you language. Just type in Japanese for beginners, Japanese grammar series, you know, and just learn from there. Practice with people, watch a lot of TV, because you'll learn a lot of words from those. I have a whole playlist on videos that are about language learning, videos that are on how to learn a language, and so I will link those videos down below so you can check those out. Good luck. Someone says tips for growing on YouTube. I don't really know. I don't really think I'm qualified to answer this question, but I guess the best tip is just to upload consistently. I'm not really the best person when it comes to this. I'm really going to try and upload more consistently, but uploading consistently and then obviously put in a lot of effort into your videos and your thumbnails so that people can watch them. You just want people to be engaged in your videos, and the only way to do that is just to make sure that your videos are engaging. I hope mine are. I mean, there's like 1,000 of you guys now, so clearly I'm doing something right. Someone says, how do you motivate yourself to study hard? If I'm going to be completely honest, I've kind of been lacking motivation recently. It's really hard. Something about language learning is it's really hard to stay consistent. Like, you can start for the first 3 months, you can be learning every day, feeling very motivated. Then when it starts to get more difficult, you'll lose that motivation naturally, you know? It takes years to learn a language. And it's hard to keep your motivation all the way up here for all those years. You know what I mean? But I think just for me, it's just always you guys are serving as motivation, but obviously not everyone is going to make a YouTube channel. But I think just also always just thinking about your goals, like I really want to be able to speak this language. Why do you want to be able to speak these languages? Reminding yourself of that and just being like, come on, you're not going to speak it if you don't work, if you don't study, so get studying. And then this person also says, what does your family think about you learning the Chinese language and immersing yourself in Asian culture? I don't really know what, like, they think it's they think it's cool, like I don't really know what you'd expect. It's not like they don't like it or anything like that. Yeah, they think it's nice that I learn Chinese, that I learn languages, especially with Mandarin. Like, they understand that like Mandarin is like a really good language to learn in terms of like China's economy, so they're really happy about that. And yeah, they're just really impressed and really, yeah. I think at the beginning they were a bit, I don't want to say a bit like weirded out about it. Like, oh my god, why is she so interested in Chinese culture? Like, China is so far away and she loves it so much. And then now, I think they really appreciate it now, especially since you guys are really supporting me. They're seeing all the support that I'm getting and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, keep doing this, keep going, become fluent. They want me to become fluent now. So yeah, it's really nice. Someone said, how does your mind process words quickly in another language? Because when speaking Chinese, I use a lot of filler words like 就是 when trying to explain stuff, which sounds very bad. To stop that, I try taking long pauses to think of what I'm saying, but then the conversation topic changes and I can't get my point across in time. I think the way to stop like native speakers use filler words. I use filler words in English, you'll never just speak like without any filler words. So definitely appreciate and accept filler words. But the way to stop using them so much and just be able to get your points across is you need to be able to think in the language. I don't know whether you do this or not, whether you're thinking in English and then translating to Chinese, because if you're doing that, then obviously it's going to take you forever to speak, because first you need to think of what you want to say in English and then you need to translate each word into Mandarin. That's going to take a long time. You see what I mean? You need to be able to think in Mandarin so that you don't have to do that whole translation step before you actually start speaking and it just comes out. Now, how do you think in a language? You can't just tell your brain, okay, think in Mandarin now, I'm just going to do it. It doesn't work like that. The best way is immersion. This is why I stress watching TV shows and everything so much. If you constantly watch Chinese TV drama, Chinese YouTubers, like your brain will actually start thinking in Chinese, because you're constantly hearing the Chinese, you're hearing the words, you're hearing it. So when you come to speak, your brain is just gonna be very familiar with it, and the words will just come to you. Do you see what I mean? Like, I don't really know how to explain it. I'll link a video down below where I talk about how impactful TV was, specifically in my Mandarin, but also in my other languages. Like, I found myself just knowing what words meant. Words that I'd never actually learned, I just knew what they meant. How? Because I'd heard them so many times. So when it came to speaking in Mandarin, the words were just flying into my head. They were just coming into my head. I was just thinking in Mandarin. That's where you need to be, so you're not constantly doing 那个就是我 like, you're not constantly doing that. It just will be like will just flow. So try and do that. And obviously just speaking it more as well will just help you increase your speed, you know? And then the last question, this is another question from Jocelyn, and she said, how did you become fluent in Mandarin and French? Like, what would be your best tip for someone who wants to get fluent? I'm really passionate about learning these languages, and I've taken them for quite a while, but I just can't seem to be able to pick it up, or even just to have a simple conversation without freaking out. Definitely, I understand the whole thing about freaking out. That's completely understandable. I mean, there's no solution to just stop you from freaking out. I mean, even I still freak out. Like, if I'm to have a conversation with a native French speaker or a native Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese speaker, I freak out. I very much freak out, you know, even now. So, you know, that's never just gonna go away. But even though you're freaking out, don't let that stop you from speaking. Like, don't chicken out, basically. Like, do it, force yourself, go out of your comfort zone, because the only way that you're going to get better at speaking is by speaking. And so even though you're freaking out, you still need to speak them more and more. Once again, my main tips for language learning will always be the same: immersing yourself, speaking, and then maybe just I'm sure you're putting in effort, but maybe just trying to just put in more effort to learn more vocabulary every day, so that you're better equipped when it comes to speaking. You know that you have more vocabulary because you've been putting in more effort, and so that will help you to be able to speak more. But definitely, it's really, really, really hard, but there's no way to do it other than speaking and also immersing yourself so that you can understand what people are saying, because native speakers speak quickly. The only way you'll be able to adjust to that speed is by constantly hearing speech at that speed. So those are all the questions for today. Thank you to everybody who asked a question. Once again, I want to thank everybody for their support. I see there are literally just comments saying support. Comments saying, I support you, keep going. And those comments, like, I just read them and they just make me so happy knowing that so many people are supporting me. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Let's hit 2,000. We're on the road to 2,000. So share my videos, like them, guys, comment on them. That really helps me with the algorithm and pushing my videos out there. So make sure that you're doing all of that. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you subscribe. That is it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.